Bhimbetka Caves are concerned, that these sites were continuously habited by the humans, and we have experienced some of the art forms in Bhimbetka Caves which pertain to the I would say prehistoric art forms, various paintings drawn on these rock shelters, and these paintings are helping historians in order to construct the past of this human as far as Stone Age is concerned. Because in these paintings they have depicted not only their occupation, but they also depicted that how they used to go for hunting. Paintings and the importance of paintings, however, the importance of the paintings have already been explained to you when I was discussing the last stage of the art and culture as far as Britishers are concerned in India. And when I was discussing about the Britishers and what form of architecture they brought in India, we studied about the neoclassical and the neo-Gothic forms of art and culture which they developed in India. And Britishers are also known for revival of some kind of Indo-Islamic architecture, though Indo-Islamic architecture was developed by these Britishers when they introduced some of their taste in terms of I would say in terms of the Indo-Islamic architecture. The kind of the architecture, Islamic architecture, which was revived by them, it is actually not purely an Islamic architecture, but they infused some of the Britishers, I would say taste, some of the British taste in that form of architecture. That is why we cannot say that Indo-Islamic architecture was completely revived by them in its original form, but what they developed is the mixing, I would say the mixture of Islamic as well as British form of architecture. But today's topic will be I would say today's topic will be rotating around the paintings in India, and as far as the importance of paintings in India and paintings as a whole is concerned, we already talked about its importance, but now to be put, I would say in a very systematic manner, I will be explaining various dimensions that why paintings are studied in history. First of all, paintings will give you a kind of a natural human behavior. You can always judge the human behavior just by looking at the type of paintings which they are making, that how humans are behaving. Apart from the human behavior, they are very, I would say, important windows to look into the cultural diversity of that age. Whereas the cultural diversities are concerned, paintings are studied in that dimension also. Paintings can also help you in understanding about not only the human behavior, not only the cultural diversity, but paintings bridge, I would say, they can also act as the way of communication. And whereas the way of communication is concerned for which you can use the paintings, they become all of a sudden very important dimension in the history, that why these paintings are important in order to study various dimensions of history of that age. Art, very important, because art, it tells you a story. It not only reflects the cultural values, cultural beliefs and cultural identity, but it also helps the historian to preserve many different communities that make up this world. Art chronicles means whatever the form of art is, it revolves around the cultural diversity of that age. It also acts as a very good medium of communication. As I told you in the very previous class, that a paper of art can speak. A paper of art can speak 1,000 words without even mentioning anything. If you are making an art, that art can speak up to 1,000 words, and that art can tell you various other dimensions of that society which an article of 4 to 5 pages cannot tell you. clearly. A single page of art can tell you the society of that age. Some of the art forms are also, as I told you yesterday, some of the art forms are also throwing light on the economy of that age, because the art forms of that period, they are mentioning something which is related to the occupation of the people. Not only the occupation of the people, but they also mention about the state of agriculture and the state of the peasants. The state of agriculture can also be judged by looking at these art and paintings very clearly, and I would say very minutely. That is why these arts are very much important as far as art and culture is concerned. So, as far as paintings in India is concerned, Bhimbetka Caves are the ones which I would say which contains more than 700 shelters, and these shelters are habited by various humans right from the right from the Stone Age. So Bhimbetka Caves and the paintings which are drawn in these caves, first of all, these caves are located in the Bhopal area of Madhya Pradesh, and these caves will tell you the art forms as well as the Stone Age is concerned. There are more than 700 shelters, and when the historians studied all of them, they came to know about one very important point as far as Bhimbetka Caves are concerned, that these sites were continuously habited by the humans, and we have experienced some of the art forms in Bhimbetka Caves which pertain to the I would say prehistoric art forms can be said here. Whereas prehistoric art forms are said, why I am saying the prehistoric? Because prehistoric is the period where we do not have any literary evidences in order to construct the story behind. That is why I told you that paintings, they tell you a complete story. They not only tell you the complete story, but they will also help in making your point as far as society, economy, culture of that period is concerned. And as far as Stone Age is concerned, for historians, these paintings are very much important from the point of view of the historians as far as prehistoric age of human civilization is concerned, because prehistory is that period where we do not have any literary evidences, and just on the basis of the artifacts which we get from the sites when we excavate it, plus these paintings, whatever you are studying as far as the prehistoric culture of the human civilization is concerned, these paintings, they throw and they prove to be a game changer in order to understand the society of these people. So Bhimbetka Caves, they represent some kind of the prehistoric paintings. As far as the habitation of humans is concerned in these caves, it is said by various historians that these caves were continuously under habitation of the human civilization right from 10,000 years ago till 2,000 years ago. This is the very brief time of the Stone Age, because around 8,000 years and in around 10,000 years ago we experienced the Holocene epoch, and Holocene epoch is that epoch which marks the end of Ice Age. With the Holocene epoch, we studied that as the Ice Age was ending, we experienced various kind of ecological as well as environmental changes all over the world. The trees, the plants were growing. These humans were getting to know about some forms of agriculture, and yes, they now could survive themselves. Means the humans, they could now think of their survival as their food is now unlimited in various areas. Because as far as the Ice Age is concerned, because in Ice Age we do not get the evidences of properly developed, I would say, a plantation, and because the plantations and I would say ecological ecologically and environmentally, the climate was becoming much more warmer in Holocene epoch. It actually gave 1,000 reasons, it actually gave 1,000 ways in which humans now could think of their survival. So in that age, in that perspective, Bhimbetka caves of India are very much important. As I already told you, these caves are located in Bhopal, which is in Madhya Pradesh, in the Raisen district of Madhya Pradesh. These caves were first referred in the Buddhist scriptures as the Buddhist site in the year of 1888. But these Bhimbetka caves were discovered in 1957 by the historian Dr. Vishnu Vakankar. And as I told you, Bhimbetka caves contain more than 700 shelters, and rock paintings are which have been done in Bhimbetka caves. These rock paintings of Bhimbetka caves can be traced back to Stone Age, closely 30,000 years old. As far as the history of excavation and what the archaeologists have found about these Bhimbetka caves, they say that these Bhimbetka caves were under continuous habitation of the human civilization from 10,000 years to 2,000 years. So for 8,000 years, this site was under continuous habitation, and we have seen various paintings drawn on these rock shelters, and these paintings are helping historians in order to construct the past of these human as far as Stone Age is concerned. Because in these paintings, they have depicted not only their occupation, but they also depicted that how they used to go for hunting in groups, they told you. And from these paintings, we get to know that now hunting is not a private affair anymore. By this time, hunting has become a completely different affair as far as a complete tribe is concerned. Now the whole tribe is participating in hunting the animals, because now hunting the small animals will not be good for you, and it will not provide any kind, I would say, for the survival as far as whole tribe is concerned, because now at this age you were targeting to hunt the big games. And if you want to target the big games, you need a proper group which will help you. And from that paintings we get to know that the tribe is actually headed by the person who is the most bravest of all, and he will lead his team members in drawing the strategy that how this big game will be hunted down. So this is all these paintings are generally reflecting. Like one of the paintings I have described here, these paintings are generally speaking about some of the festivals in which these people were engaged in. This painting can be seen as a kind of the festival which was being celebrated by these people, or it can be said that might be this is the depiction of how these tribal human civilization were migrating. According to historian, these paintings can reflect something about the migration of the human civilization from one area to another, because we already have explained it to you that before the age of civilization, humans were pastoral. What do you mean by pastoral? Because you have to find your food, and food cannot be, I would say, available in a region throughout your life. The possibility of the food, as you start to live in an area, the possibility of getting the continuous food from that area decreases every year. And that is why in order to look for more food, you will have to migrate from one place to another. So might be this rock shelter particularly, which has been drawn in red color rock shelter paintings, is describing something about the migration of these tribe. I would say the migration of the particular tribe from one area to another, because they have described I would also say the type of the horse, sorry, not the horses, but the type of the animals on which they were riding. And when they are describing themselves as riding some animals, it can also explain a very particular dimension which we generally forget to acknowledge, that is domestication of the animals. And as far as domestication of the animals is concerned, domestication of the animals is not only good for these pastoral humans, but this domestication of animals is also very important for these humans as far as their survival is concerned. Because you can get various byproducts from that animal which is being domesticated here in this image. Means they have clearly depicted themselves as riding some animals, and from that image we can get number of meanings. That is why I told you a simple piece of painting can explain about the society much more clearly than an article of nearly 4 to 5 pages. So this is the image of Bhimbetka Caves, and how these Bhimbedka Caves, they throw a clear picture before the historians as far as the society, economy of the prehistoric man in India is concerned. So now we are describing about the forms of paintings. See students, generally paintings are of two types. The one type is called the mural paintings and the other type is called the miniature paintings. The mural and the miniature paintings. As far as the mural paintings are concerned, the name is the reason why they are called mural, because these are the large scale paintings which are generally attached to a floor. They can be attached to the floor or the walls of the palaces or havelis, or sometimes of caves. That is why they are called mural paintings, means large scale paintings. And the other form is called miniature paintings. Miniature paintings are generally the small scale paintings. They are generally drawn on a piece of a paper or a cloth. Basically the paintings can be grouped, as far as India is concerned, into 7 special groups. One is called the Rajasthani painting, then we have the Madhubani painting, the Tanjore paintings, the Mughal paintings. As far as the Mughal paintings are concerned, the Mughal paintings are much more of the miniature style, because the Mughals are generally attached with the miniature forms of the painting, and very important book of the miniature paintings as far as the Mughals are concerned is called Tooth-e-Nama. I will be describing about this book also. Then we have the Bengal style of art, we have the Patta Chitra art and the Varli arts. So these are very much important as far as paintings in India should be understood, and these paintings are very much important as far as UPSC prelims are concerned. So I am starting with the Madhubani painting. The image on the right side of the slide is actually describing about the Madhubani paintings. And if you see these Madhubani paintings, we can get certain aspect from it, that they are not leaving any space. Every space in this form of painting is actually filled with colors. No space is left, no gap you will see. And it is according to a tradition. The tradition speaks of Raja Janak. Raja Janak, who is considered to be the father of Rani Sita. Rani Sita, the wife of Lord Ram. Yes, Raja Janak, according to the tradition, Raja Janak, he ordered these paintings to be constructed just to celebrate the marriage of Lord Ram and Sita. This is what the tradition of the Madhubani paintings say. So let's read about it. These paintings are also called as Mithila paintings. They actually originated in the Madhubani village, which is in Bihar. And according to mythology, as I told you, this tradition commenced when Janak Raj, means the father of Rani Sita, when asked his painters to paint the moments of marriage ceremony of Sita and Lord Ram. Traditionally, it was done by Madhubani's women on mud walls. But later on, these Madhubani women started paintings or started drawing the Madhubani paintings not on the mud walls but also on the piece of cloth, the canvas and the handmade papers. These paintings also depict the other devotional stories of Hinduism as far as Hinduism is concerned. So the mythology behind Madhubani painting is that Janak Raj, the father of Sita, when he ordered his painters that you start drawing and capturing every moment of the marriage ceremony which is taking place between Lord Ram and his daughter Sita. So this tradition actually comments from this story of mythology. Originally, Madhubani paintings, why they are called Madhubani? Because Madhubani is the village in Bihar. We started paintings, or I would say we started drawing these paintings for the first time. That is why they are called Madhubani paintings.